All right, friends, and we are back. Enjoying my East Texas University T-shirt. Hope to get a lot of good wear out of that. Shep, it occurred to me that if you wish to change your major, you are not so far along in your collegiate career that you could not easily do so. Up until now, you've taken some very difficult biochem classes, but you've also knocked out a fair smattering of
Hmm.
other sort of required courses. Something in the humanities, your psych or your philosophy, perhaps a phys ed or something like that. Maybe mathematics would easily be satisfied by your uh, travails in the calculus and calculus 2 realms. So keep in mind, if you want to change majors, you certainly can do that. And the game system does support that. You could even go undeclared,
Hmm.
which makes the role a little bit harder, but it gives you that flexibility to, decide where Shep really wants to go with this.
Oh no! Until I can get some sort of fancy voodoo to come through and clear the dice on fantasy grounds
Boy.
and make them nice to me,
Mhm.
I don't think it would matter what my major was.
I would recommend something in the periwinkle shade. The two gals here have had
Mhm.
pretty good
Oh
luck.
no! See, I tried. I tried changing. I tried changing to Raven Purple. Didn't work. It gave me a crit fail.
Yeah, maybe it was the fact that the color of the numbers on the dice were black. Maybe you should have tried white or silver. Maybe
Maybe.
maybe that would have helped.
Gotta flip it around sometimes.
That was unfortunate.
I just know that definitely changes my roleplay thoughts for the time being.
Mm-mm-mm. All right, let's see. I'm in tokens. I just need to bring that token up right quick if I can find it. Campaign. No, it's weird. Um. mm, mm, mm. Yeah, this one. Oh, let me look for that one particular one that I'm looking for. I should have sort of brought it off to the side to make it a little bit easier to find.
Speaking of voodoo,
Yeah.
Do you see it too?
yes, I
Okay, so
didn't
it's
until I until I flipped back over here and I was
What
like,
happened?
"What?
What's the voodoo?
I'm not sure of what you speak.
It's
your
my
camera's
camera."
haunted.
Oh,
Yes,
what? Excuse me?
it is
Oh,
flickering and
oh, I
doing all
see
sorts
it.
of stuff.
Oh my God, I
Yeah.
see it.
And occasionally it puts out something that's like black with some green, bright green squiggles.
Oh my God, I don't know what that is.
Interesting. Is there a ghost in the machine, perhaps? Hard,
There
Apparently,
might
I
be.
conjured one.
hard.
I may have made my microphone angry. I disconnected it, and
Mhm.
now it's retaliating.
So we worked
Your
through a little
your
bit of.
technology curse has never left. Okay, like hold
Perhaps,
on.
perhaps I have the. What's it called? The fat fingered hindrance?
I'll hop off and hop right back in.
All right, because yeah, Ava, we just did a quick check of Ava's mic, and it seemed very quiet in the first hour. So Shep will say what happened was you somehow you managed to oversleep for your final exam,
Mm.
and you woke up hungry, and there was some of Erica's chili left over in the
Oh Lord.
refrigerator, and it was in a microwavable Tupperware container with a snap-on lid. And yeah, being a guy, you popped it open, gave it a quick sniff, and said, "Oh yeah, this will be fine." And you warmed it up for breakfast. Bad idea, really bad idea. because all through your exam, your stomach was gurgling, and let us just say that the degree of flatulence was enough to distract the other students. If not the sounds, then certainly the odors that were emitted from you. So you have a degree of discomfort that you suffered
Hmm.
through your exam. And although the worst of it seems to have been mitigated by a little bit of Malox, maybe something like that, some Beano, maybe taken a little bit too late for this particular affectation, we'll say that
Hmm.
the odor that continues to permeate the area around you um, is unfortunate. Is unfortunate.
Now, just curiosity wise, we've taken we've taken the test, and I know we know what the outcome is right now. But
Hmm.
how long is it going to be before the in game they get the results?
I
Because
don't You mean like Erica and Mir?
no, I mean like Shep's parents when they go around and start asking because Shep's local.
Yeah, probably.
I'm trying to plot my
Yeah, probably two
some.
weeks. I would say two
Okay,
weeks. I would say
okay,
it's after Thanksgiving. It's probably that first week of December, and it takes 2 weeks because processing the records and giving students an opportunity to retake an exam if that um, is a particular concern or availability, something like that. So I'd say within 2 weeks those grades go
okay.
out, and it will be interesting. So you are all three.
Yep.
You meet, and Shep, you're a little bit dehydrated. I imagine you're trying to drink some, at least some water. You were so uncomfortable during that exam. You walk out knowing that it was a lost cause, that you bombed it pretty good. The other two, the ladies, walk out um, knowing that they did very well. However, your Tante appears walking next to you, and she looks at you and smiles and points in a direction that is out to the middle of this courtyard, which is between most of the dorms to the east and most of the buildings where the classes are held to the west. There's a large grassy area, um, probably called like the Rotunda or something like that. And Tante smiles and points kind of in that direction and then vanishes.
Yeah, that's as good a place as any to try to throw up. Start
Hmm.
heading that way.
Yeah, we'll say that the particular uh, manner in which the body is trying to purge the spoiled chili, we'll say that throwing up is not the direction that it's coming.
Oh no.
That's okay. I'll be riding. I know I'm riding home in Erica's truck later.
She would probably
Oh
say,
boy.
That's why I drive a pickup truck. So if somebody's going to get sick, can sit in the back, and I mean the way back.
Oh, there's a window in that back seat.
You happen upon a picnic table upon which is seated
Hmm.
a singular figure. I've um I've tried to share him. Can you see him?
Oh, I see him.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, he's seated by himself. Uh, I don't know why they keep wanting me to check a green check mark, but I will. It's almost as if the interface thinks that I tried to move him, but that's okay. This was just a clever way for me to figure out, well, I'm just going to come up with a blank image. I'm going to drop a token onto it, and that way I can kind of make the image visible to you folks. Um, and I don't know why, but I just got a duplicate of him with the number 1 on it. I'm going to dismiss it. This is interesting. I didn't try to move him, but he shifted a little bit, a little bit to the right on screen. But uh, you know,
I have
grem-
a terrible habit of clicking on everything I see.
gremlins, ghosts, geists, and the like, they inhabit my machine. Um,
Mine as well, apparently, because I'm still flickering.
he's just sitting there.
Do
He's
we
got a
need
base.
an epilepsy warning?
Yeah, really. Oh, is my camera still flickering as well?
Mine is going a little nuts. I think it's every time I move, so I'm just gonna sit still.
Yeah, and continue to speak loudly and clearly. So this individual was seated at one of the picnic tables by himself, and he has sort of a bemused expression on his face as he sees the three of you sort of gazing out at the courtyard, at no one and nothing in particular, and then sort of hone in on this sort of singular individual, dressed in a sweatshirt and maybe sweatpants and a baseball cap over his long blonde locks. And yeah, he's just sitting there kind of bemused. He's got a backpack. Looks like the zipper's open, and it's sitting on like the table in front of him.
Oh dear. It's a man.
Ava, it would seem to be an extraordinarily attractive man.
The man with long hair.
Thin,
Damn. Wow. I actually. Holy smokes. That guy's abs are coming right through that shirt.
just,
What the heck?
yeah. And
I just got like a closer look at this token.
yeah, he's wearing a
That's hilarious.
medium, a size medium shirt.
Sir, I think you need a large.
And
He has a cool tattoo on his arm.
yeah, he's looking at you with a piercing gaze. I think this is one of the pieces of art from the Phil Cho artist over on
Nice.
DeviantArt. Like I said, whenever I'm looking for a particular student, a college student, or a child, or an adult male or female, a lot of them are armed. A lot of them are carrying guns and stuff. But with this picture, I saw it. I said, I've got to use this picture. It's perfect for my
I
needs.
love
So,
it.
Phil Cho, shout out and two hearty thumbs up.
That's pretty cool. This guy is staring at me. Oh Lord Jesus, help me now.
Hmm. I'd like everybody to toss a notice roll, please.
Sure.
I love those.
Oh yay.
The power of the
A
periwinkle.
raise.
Okay. Um, yeah, Sophia. I was going to say that there were some trees nearby that you were given a wide berth, but that is not the case anymore. You bought off that phobia of trees. We'll just say that you are introspectively, in a self-satisfied kind of manner, going over the chupacabra sculpture that you did, knowing that you did extraordinarily well just because your teacher knew exactly what it was and seems to be well schooled in some of the Spanish folklore, the heritage, um, the monsterology, if you will, of such. So you don't notice. Shep, you notice this guy looks
Mm-hmm.
kind of pale and gaunt with very long, angular features. And is it your imagination or are his eyes magenta?
Oh boy.
Maybe? Maybe he forgot to take out his Halloween contact lenses that change the color of his
Chef's just glad they're not
eyes.
white out.
Ava, not only do you catch a odd tint to his pupils, but you also think to yourself that you've seen movies. I don't know if they were perhaps from Star Trek, where Mr. Spock has tried to conceal the nature of his ears in a manner of tying a headband around his head in, oh, the one Star Trek movie with the whales. Was it four? I think it was one of the even ones, maybe. Yeah, Sir, there be whales here, or in other one of the original series shows when he was back in time, back to the
It
Depression,
looks
as a matter of fact, with
it looks like a headband.
yeah, that, or back when he was in the episode with the Guardian at the Edge of Forever, when he had a stocking cap pulled down over his ears, or there was the one when they went to the, it was a planet that was based on like Nazism, and Spock had a Nazi helmet that covered his ears. So
Oh,
all of these things, being a science fiction nerd, um, you're like, oh yeah. And there could have been other characters with like odd facial distinctive features that may have disguised it in some way. I'm thinking the one Twilight episode where the Martian worked behind a counter at a diner and he had a third eye in his forehead. So he had his cook's hat pulled low, and at the end he revealed it. And I think there was
oh boy.
a Martian, Oak was fixing to smoke a cigarette and he had the lighter, and then two other arms reached out from under his trench coat and did something with a cup of coffee on the counter or something like that. But all these things kind of like just
Wow.
flash through your mind. You're like, that guy looks like he has pointed ears. We'll say that
Okay.
we'll say you're more than 30 feet away. You're between 30 and 40 feet away, close enough to make out some of these features, but not so close that you are truly engaged with this individual. And he's looking at you with an bemused expression.
Probably because she's examining him so hard. It's like,
Mhm.
are those ears? Are those pink eyeballs? I could see her being the awkward kid just sitting there, like, holding on to her, like, bag strap, just staring at this guy, like, what's wrong with him? And is he looking at me? Oh, man.
He sighs and he puts his chin on one of his palms of his hands as he rests there, just eyeballing you. Excuse me, taking it all in.
Am I when I'm with the the others, right?
You are
Or am
with
I
the
by
others.
myself? Oh,
No, you
okay.
are not. You are not by yourself. You decided to get together, and you're trying politely to stand upwind of Shep because every once in a while you hear a little,
Yeah.
and you step aside, and
Gonna normally she probably would have been hiding behind the tallest person, but for now she's gonna go over to Sophia and just awkwardly like sidestep over and kind of like pull at her shirt while still looking at this guy like, is there something weird about him? Do
he
you
looks
think?
like he's about the right age to be a college student, maybe an upperclassman. He has wisdom in his expression. And in fact, as you are looking, he looks like he has a Ziploc bag. To you, it looks like he has maybe granola or trail mix in it. And darned if a squirrel that may have been on the seat next to him doesn't jump up onto his backpack. And he seems to have fed it a nut, perhaps a raisin, maybe a piece of granola. But that chubby little squirrel, um, putting on a little extra weight as winter is approaching, grabs it and eats it greedily.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Little tail kind of flicking side to side, very alert, beady eyes looking around.
Okay.
And I saw a night steed disconnect in the interface.
Oh, oh, you did, friend.
Did I?
I think you did.
Your portrait is not up there anymore with the
Fantasy
rest of
grounds.
us. Your fantasy grounds, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will be poking at Sophia
Ava,
just
Ava,
like
I popped over to OBS rat quick? And is your camera
Uh huh.
off, or do you have a? Are you eating and you're embarrassed?
No, I munch happily on a camera. I don't really care, but it was flickering like extensively, so I turned on the virtual camera, which is just a blank screen, to keep everything in order. Because I don't want the flickering to be too much of a like horrible distraction. So I'll figure that out afterwards.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Up here in Denver,
um,
up here in Denver, it's been raining on and off through the day, and I think it's supposed to snow just a little bit tonight. Could be something atmospheric. Could be my internet service. I won't discount that as a possibility. But
my microphone retaliating.
yeah, all right. Now your mic works, but your camera's flickering. So
Right? Yeah.
okay. So yeah, there's this little chubby squirrel. Kind of like that real cute combination of silver and brown and gray.
Okay. So the dean is putting bait out there, and I will take the bait. So I'm gonna yank at Sophia to come with me though, because boys are scary. But this one's feeding a squirrel, so maybe he's not as scary as I think he is.
Very good.
I'll follow with Ava.
Like,
You approach a
how?
little closer. If it's possible for a squirrel to look two places at once, he's keeping one eye on that bag, and that other eye is out giving you an appraising stare. You know how squirrels
Oh,
act real jittery and have these like real rapid movements left and right? And, you know,
oh yeah.
it's kind of doing that.
If Ava was an animal, she'd be a squirrel, straight up.
That's right. It's your spirit animal, squirrel girl.
Definitely, yes. I was just about to say, she is Squirrel Girl.
Okay.
But yeah, the feeding a little squirrel, that's adorable. But
It takes one more piece of trail mix from him, perhaps a small white cube of coconut, and then the fact that you are all encroaching on what he considers his safe space gets to be a little too much, and that little squirrel just darts away, hops down, and scurries to the safety of a tree where it will turn around and perhaps scold you a little bit while munching on this nice bit of toasted coconut.
oh no, I didn't want to scare it away. I was enjoying the cute little squirrel nearby. Now it's just a man.
This man awkwardly tries to zip this Ziploc bag shut. Seems to fail, so he grabs it by its two corners and sort of spins it so it wraps itself up kind of a couple times, stuffs it into his the backpack. The backpack
So
the backpack is kind of a brown denim. It appears to be a cast-off backpack, as the zipper has been ruptured and torn and doesn't look like it closes.
he has a broken backpack.
Hmm.
Poor guy.
Zippers
Uh,
are not permanent fixtures. They do tend to wear out and break. Looks like a nice student's backpack though.
well, she feels bad for scaring the squirrel. She's gonna be a nerd and apologize for it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare it away.
He smiles at you and he shrugs a little bit with a bemused smile upon his face.
No.
He's exceedingly attractive as you get close. He has a
Oh,
worldly wisdom about him. His eyes penetrate you as if they're looking through you. His long flowing hair, almost like Fabio, or
Fabio.
like Legolas maybe from the Lord of the Rings kind of movie. And
Oh,
yeah, as you get closer, you can definitely see he seems to have tucked that baseball cap over the tips of some rather pointed ears.
so
Yeah.
now that we're closer and I get a better look at his face, he's got like I can tell a little better like that his hair and ears are being more, or his ears are being more concealed, like just kind of tucked in and kind of under the hair,
Hmm.
and his eyes are like definitely a bit more pinkish.
I would say they're magenta.
Okay,
Yeah, just the pupils.
very. Oh,
So
that's
so his eyes have white. What is that? Not irises, but his eyeballs
yeah,
are white.
they're
But his
white, but
pupils,
the
where you would say, oh, you have brown eyes, you have blue eyes, you
oh
have green eyes. His
his
are,
iris, yes.
yeah, his are a little more like magenta hued or violet, maybe something like that.
She doesn't know how to talk to people. Let's see. Uh, she'll probably just straight up be hiding behind Sophia, but kind of peeking over
Okay.
and just kind of look into his eyeballs because he's he's piercingly staring at her and it's kind of freaking her out. But she's curious about his eyes because they're magenta. So she's probably just gonna blurt it out. She's like, "Why are your eyes so magenta?"
He smiles and he responds to you in a language that you don't understand. A very lilting, melodic. Is that a word? Melodic? Melodic?
Yeah, melodic.
Sing-songy language. He speaks a short phrase.
Uh, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Do you know what he's saying? I don't know what he's saying.
Somehow I don't think elf is one of the languages on any of your character sheets. Not even the nerds.
Yeah, right. I just looking up at Sophia and looking back at him like, um, you didn't understand that? I didn't understand that. That's not Spanish.
Notice rolls from the three of you, please.
And notice, like I definitely know who the heck this is, considering we have a Kevin situation.
Shep and Ava, what appears to be in that backpack, which probably doesn't zipper shut, you see that there are a couple of strong, like baby pins, like safety pins, that are affixed to it to hold it shut. But it's open. The flap is, open just a little bit. Looks like maybe you know how Erica's chaps look? Like well worn leather?
Uh huh.
Something like that. The first thing you think of is, oh, he has a leather jacket rolled up in there. But it doesn't seem to be a jacket, but it does seem to be leather. And yeah,
Oh, there's something really weird going on. I don't know what he said, but he's good with animals.
he cocks his head at you, and he's not at you particularly, although you seem to be the one that is the most communicative and
Huh?
perhaps one of the more pleasant smelling of the three of you at this juncture. He tips his head to the side and
That's it.
he's looking
Shep
at you.
starts walking. Shep's just walking away. He's not into. He walked that way. He doesn't see anything. He sees the stranger. His mind's focused on what just happened in the classroom.
Okay.
Poor Shep. He just failed a class. There's a weirdo on the bench feeding squirrels. We're just like, what's up with this guy? He's like, I can't. I
Yeah.
just can't.
I mean, when you've been in high school or college, and you just have that feeling that you're coming out, you're like, I know I
Yeah.
bombed it. I know I did
It's
so
one
Mm.
of the
bad.
worst
It
feelings.
was it was like the first time I had ever seen some of those, mathematical formulas, or you know,
Mm,
I didn't
it's an
even,
awful
you know,
feeling.
you couldn't even, sometimes you skip over to page two, you find one that you can answer quickly and easily, and it gives you that little extra gumption, gets you sort of pointed in the right direction, and gives you confidence back. Shep
Yeah.
could not find it. It was almost like it was written in Latin or something. He just could not could not get his head around it. And then, with his intestinal distress, you know,
Oh man.
made it thoroughly unpleasant. But yeah, this guy's sort of just tipping his head to the side and smiling at you, Ava. And Sophia as well. I mean, he's focused
Oh,
on the two of you, since kind of one is partially obscuring the other.
fair.
He
I
points at
am in the way.
he points at the
You
seat.
are.
He points at the seat in front of him, like this is a picnic table with two benches. He's on the one bench, and he's sort of pointing over at the other one.
So he's trying to communicate with us, but he can't actually speak English. So he wants us to sit down. Should we sit down, Sophia?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab Ava's hand and just sit on the bench opposite the um supposedly elven man.
Okay. He reach
Supposedly elven man.
he reaches out
Oh
both
god.
he reaches out both of his hands, palm up, and rests them on the table, as if he wishes to join hands with one of you or both of you.
Huh? I think he wants to hold hands with you, Sophia.
What?
Sophia, would you like to place one of your hands in his open palm, or both of your hands in his open palm? Or would you like to leave one of those open palms because you know Ava would just love to do the same?
Oh my god. I can see Sophia being like, sure, just taking Ava's hand and shoving them into this stranger's hands just for the heck of it. Oh god.
Sophia would want to, but she also uh, respects your relationship enough not to.
So
There isn't none yet.
Sophia offers both her hands.
Sure.
Okay. He gives you a gentle squeeze, almost like a handshake, and then permits you
Watch.
to like withdraw your hands if you wish. And then he sits there again, and he's sort of stroking his long pointed chin thoughtfully as he looks at you, and he says something again in a language that you don't understand, a lilting, musical language.
Sophia, what's happening?
I
What's
don't know. I
Ava,
don't
did you
know.
sit down,
I
or
don't
are you
even know why
standing?
we're
I
here.
did.
Okay.
I'm sitting there with her and I'm observing and I'm watching cuz I mean, if they're as mesmerizing as described, then she's more curious than she is afraid. Now that Sophia's chilling here too.
There's definitely something otherworldly about him,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
over his shoulder, you see Shep walking away, kicking at an imaginary clump of dirt. His posture indicates resignation,
Oh.
shaking his head. You imagine he's muttering to himself.
Wait, he pulled something out?
Who did?
No, I think I missed the last thing that you said. That
No,
he's just dejected,
yeah,
but I didn't hear why.
yeah. You probably assume he's muttering to himself as he strolls
Oh.
away, kicking at that like
Uh,
imaginary clump of dirt, shaking his head a bit.
let's see. I'm going to look at. Let me see.
He
I'm
gestures to
going to
himself.
poke. Oh, I'm gonna poke at Sophia and kind of like whisper to her. It's like we can't understand anything he's saying, but do you think that we could if we do one of those rituals?
We have a ritual for that?
Uh, we have one for knowledge. I think we could do something with that.
We did. Let's do
Yeah.
that then.
La Bruja.
La Bruja. Yes, indeed. And then immediately when she thinks about rituals, she's going to look around for Shep. But I don't know
He's,
how far along he's actually gone, if he's
yeah,
actually left.
several paces. He's not walking in a straight line. He's meandering a bit to the left, meandering a bit to the right, shaking his head, kicking at that imaginary, clump of grass. Um,
So
maybe one time
Ava, go get him.
he pounds his fist into his
I,
open
I
palm.
will, I will, um, not that he would probably understand, but Ava's just gonna hold up like a finger, like 1 minute, please, and she's gonna go run after a Shep and hold her breath as she's
Okay.
going over in that direction.
Sophia, this individual points at himself and he says, "Iron drawer."
Got a Tarzan situation
Iron
here.
roar?
Iron drawer. He smiles, pointing at himself. Iron drawer.
I point at myself and I say, oh, Sophia.
He bows graciously. Sophia.
And then I'm going to point out Ava and Shep.
He sort of glances in their direction, looking back at you. He makes a motion with his hands. He clasps his palms together and opens them up as if he's opening a book.
Is anything happening in his hands?
No, he's looking at you. And again, he puts his hands together and opens them up as if he's opening a book.
Oh, I still have that book on me, don't I?
Nope. You gave that one to Shep.
Yeah, which
Oh,
I am
yeah.
currently running after.
That's right.
She
So
catches you, Shep.
I will grab him uh, by the wrist and point over to the picnic table. As let's see, yes, point over to the picnic table and then ask him, Shep, we need your help. Um, there's a guy, we can't understand what he's saying, and I think we need to do a ritual, a knowledge ritual maybe, to see if we can understand what he's saying, or maybe give him the ability to speak English. Do you think you could help us with that? She kind of like breathes in again to try and.
The,
I don't know. No, I'm just, I can't
Poor
do anything right. I, it, Shep just starts walking again.
you definitely heard a tooting sound, Ava.
Oh no! Poor Shep is having such a bad day. Oh no! It's like, oh no. Well, if you're not feeling so well, maybe we could meet you back home. I know that you've had a really bad day. We won't be very long. One would hope.
The last time you felt this bad, Shep, was when, oh my goodness, it was also Erica's chili. I think it was chicken
Mm-hmm.
chili. I think it was made with chicken that was, shall we say, a bit past the expiration date. And I remember all of you unloading out of your truck, and there were two, spotta pots, Johnny on the spots, there that the girls ran into, and you went behind like a dumpster, like one of those big construction dumpsters that you throw, wood and bricks and stuff into. And that's the last time your stomach felt like this. Would you like to continue and sort of beg off and remove yourself from this tryst here, or would you like to return with Ava? She had said something about gaining knowledge to speak a language.
I think Shep would just follow Ava's advice and go home.
Okay, very good. A long stroll give you a chance to collect your thoughts. Sort of, as it were, wallow in your pool of self-pity for
Hmm.
a while and reflect. Sophia, he makes this open book sort of gesture again.
Um. Oh, I'm sorry. Iron drawer.
He nods. Iron drawer.
Yes, but I.
Sorry?
I'm on push to talk. I moved my hand. Sorry. Uh, Sophia makes the same motions with her hands and then just shakes her head.
I imagine you have books with you. Perhaps not Creighton's Compendium,
Oh,
but coming from class, wandering around,
I assume a
perhaps like,
magical looking man would want a magic book. But oh, yeah, Sophia would have all of her stuff since she just had a test. She was prepped, ready to go.
yeah, maybe even a library book that you intend to drop in, check back in or something like that. He reaches for the book, and what kind of book is it?
Ah, Grimm's Fairy Tales.
Okay.
Very inspiring.
He opens it up and he pulls from his under his shirt. Looks like he has a silver or a platinum chain necklace. At the end of this necklace is a stylized metal feather about 2 inches long and a lens that is surrounded by a band of silver or platinum. It's on a little hook. So what I'm telling you is he's got a chain around his neck with two little baubles. He doesn't touch the lens. He touches the feather. It looks almost like a quill, like that you would use before ballpoint pens, the kind you would dip in ink. But it's made of like a shiny silverish metal. He touches it and he speaks a few words, and he has the book open to the first page. We'll say it is the page that has the company that produced the book and like the ISBN number and the date and stuff like that. And to your astonishment, the words on that page disappear. It is now a blank page at the beginning of that book. And then he says, "Do you understand me?"
Yes, yes, I do.
He says, "What is this place?"
Apologies, I
Uh,
have returned.
this
Okay.
welcome back. Um, I'm sorry. What do you mean by this place? You're at Pine Box, Texas.
That word means nothing to me. Um, I was I was there, and now I'm here. And without my bow, without my sword, and he points at the backpack. He says, I was dressed in this, and friends gave me these clothes.
Hmm.
Wanted me to wait here, but I've waited, and they did not return.
Where was there? What was it called? Where did you come from?
I mean, he names a word that means absolutely nothing to you. It feels fantasy like, like Rivendell or something like that. That sounds kind of whimsical. And he says,
Speaking
I
English now.
was, yeah. He says, I was in a dungeon with friends and not friends and arguing and bickering amongst ourselves. A warrior, attempted to cut me in half, but I was much too quick. He telegraphed, whatever that word would be. He made his intent known even as he swung.
Kevin?
Yes, that is the one.
Kevin.
Rash, uncouth, uncivilized.
So, okay. So I left Shep to go and hopefully be able to do his business.
So to speak.
Yes.
I hope it comes out all right, Chef. I mean, I hope everything's all right.
Poor Shep.
Yeah, effectively, Irondrar touched a page of text in a book of fairy tales that Sophia had proffered, and the text on the page vanished, and he was sort of fingering a medallion, a feather shaped, not an amulet, but almost like a charm, but bigger than you would find on a charm bracelet.
Hmm.
He looks at you and says, Shepaneva.
Okay. Oh, Shep's not here. He's back there. He had to go. He had a really bad day. Um,
No, he
I
thinks that's your name. I'm sorry.
oh oh no. I just Ava. It's Ava. That's Ava. That's it.
Hello, Just Ava.
Oh God. Close enough, I guess. Iriandar?
Irondrar.
Irandrar. Okay. Um, hmm. Well, he knows Kevin.
He
Yes.
reaches into his backpack, and it seems like he has leather armor rolled up in that backpack. He pulls out a crumpled sheet of paper and he places it before you.
I bet it's his character sheet. And I look at it.
I think I'll give you a Benny.
Yes! And I look at it, and Ava, being the nerd she is going to probably know exactly what that is.
Yeah. There's a character sketch. Again, anyone that wants to visit
Oh,
DeviantArt and other Pinterest uh, sites, just look up like character sketch, elf or character sketch barbarian. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Um, and that's the picture that's on the character sketch, along with attributes,
uh-huh.
spells, one of which is comprehend languages.
Hey, there it is. Okay. Uh, I I'll hold it up and just make the comparison. Like, yep. Okay.
Looks like him.
We have ourselves a Kevin situation, but with an elf man this time. Why do they always have to be boys? Okay, never mind. Let's figure this out. You are out here, and we don't know why. And Kevin is out here, and we don't know why. But we have to fix it because this is not where you live. friend? Who are your friends? Who gave you the stuff?
Stuff.
Nuff?
He's trying to figure out what you mean. He says,
Oh, sorry.
The stuff you
Your
have on right now.
the clothes you're wearing and the back on your back. Who gave that to you specifically?
the wizard that summoned me here. His name is Marcus Cannon.
Marcus.
Cannon is the individual that played Iron Drawer the Elf, the one that was
Yes.
at odds with Frederick Doyle, although not responsible for stripping him to his tidy whities and painting nerd on his chest.
Yes,
He's the guy that
yes.
the two just didn't get along.
So so they know that you're here too. That's that is the other guy from the group. Uh oh boy.
He points to an area outside of town and he says, I feel an urge to go that way. It is not a compulsion, it is a sense that the way home is that way.
Out of town? Oh dear.
He says,
Do we know?
I know not this pine box town.
Yes, understandable. Um, do we know what's in the direction he's pointing?
You can make a common knowledge roll. In fact,
Shall
I'll
we?
give you this at a I'll give you this at a +2
Okay.
because I'm feeling extraordinarily generous. Yeah,
Out of five.
he seems to be pointing it in the direction of Paul Vanderhorn's property, the acreage that he owns just outside of town. You've been there before. He's the one that
Yes.
had, what was it called? The Little Giant?
Yes.
The it was like
Mixer stuff.
yeah, and it was like that pounding equipment. It wasn't a grinder. What was it
Yeah.
called? Like a I forget the name of it.
It's like one of those
A pneumatic hammer. Pneumatic hammer?
yeah,
Yeah.
blacksmithing stuff.
I believe you found a place on the porch where he had been drinking some Brazen Hussy beer,
Mhm.
and you took
Mhm.
apart a carpenter's plane that he had been working with, and reassembled it after giving it an adjustment and a cleaning.
Yes. I did do some little tinkering while I was there, I remember. Um
He shrugs and he says, I will go that way soon. He shrugs.
oh you probably shouldn't go alone.
Are you a hobbit?
The Hobbit. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
You are one of the you are one of the small ones, are you not? He's like trying to look under to see if your feet are hairy, but you have shoes on.
she's she's oh my god, that's so funny. I love that. She's gonna shake her head. She's so embarrassed. That's hilarious. I love that. It's like that. No, no Hobbit. Just small human.
Not gnome.
No, not a gnome. I don't have pointed no pointed ears.
Mm,
She like shows her ears.
mm. He looks conspiratorially at you closely and just lifts the tip of the hat, the brim of the baseball cap, just enough to expose.
She goes, oh,
And he says,
you
yes,
are.
I am of the fair folk.
Hmm, I'm going to dress up as a fair folk at the fair renaissance.
Hmm. Your words say nothing.
Oh yeah. He goes, well, we should, uh, gosh, Sophia, we should probably help him out. But if we help him out, that means, oh no, does that mean we have to go back to sorority house and get the the big beefy one too?
He says, Kevin,
Big beefy one?
Kevin.
while a nomadic plainsman, quite different from I, he likely feels the same urge that I do. If we were to meet, combat to the death would occur.
Oh. I don't think that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
maybe yeah, we don't get Kevin.
You have seen Kevin?
No, not in person.
Hmm.
Thank God. This is already too many boys for me to handle, Sophia. I don't know how I'm going to get through this.
I'm sorry, Ava. You're the one who wanted to come here. I came to support you, to help, because you wanted to stare at the pretty elf man's eyes.
I am
And
flattered.
now
I am
it's
I
flattered.
was I was staring at the squirrel and only examining the elf man. I didn't know he was an elf man until now,
what
okay?
squirrel? When was there a squirrel?
There was a squirrel on his backpack and he was
I don't
feeding it.
believe you. I didn't see it.
I am flattered, Sophia. I am so flattered.
I would have noticed something that cute. I always notice
And
things.
I noticed the cute thing and it was there.
Is it your custom to carry drink with you?
Uh, in my backpack, maybe
Sometimes, yeah.
water or some juice,
Hmm.
maybe
No
some
wine.
chocolate milk.
No wine?
No wine. No wine. No wine. I'm
At
not
the
old enough
pass.
for wine. Scandalous. Wine on the campus. I could get in trouble.
No, he says. No.
Yes.
I do not belong here. I feel most odd here. I feel here and not here.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. If you're compelled to go that way, maybe when our other friend is feeling better, we could meet you there.
I could make him a
Try
pul-
and
I
help
could
you.
make him a poultice, something to settle his insides,
He
make him
is
well.
feeling very, very upset physically and I think emotionally because we just
Emotionally.
had finals and it was very stressful and he was having a bad time. I feel really
Um,
bad for him. I should she starts to get up from the table. She's like, I should go and support my friend from this bad day actually.
Indeed,
But
here comes
if do you
here
have
comes
something that
Marcus.
could help him?
I I I don't on me, and I do not know the plants of this world. And here comes the wizard that summoned me here,
The wizard.
strolling across that glade,
Oh,
and he's like, "Hey, Ira,
oh,
Ira, hey, guys, that's my hey, I'm Marcus. That's my cousin visiting at the end of the semester. We're gonna do a road trip together. Um, he's an exchange. He's from France, and
does it?
he doesn't speak English. Uh,
Um,
Ira, did you make some new friends?
uh,
Iron Drawer seems to have enough common sense not to respond to him in English. He mutters something that sounds very poetic, but not understandable. See, yeah, he speaks the romantic language, and he looks at you, Sophia, and he says, "You know, by now you're quite lucky he hasn't kissed his way halfway up past your elbow." come on, Ira.
They
Let's go.
Huh?
Let's go get you a salad.
gonna do like the Adams Family Gomez arm kiss.
He smiles at you and he bows his chin, does the elf
Uh,
low, and he and Marcus stroll across the remain of the grassy glade towards one of the parking lots. Okay, later on in the day, return to your rented off campus housing.
oh boy.
Erica and Mir are sitting there. Erica's like, y'all didn't eat that chilies in the fridge, did you? I think I was about ready to be tossed.
No, I didn't touch that.
I did not have any. Um,
So one of you dump it? I hope so. It was smelling a little funky. I didn't want
dump
it.
that right now. Let's get rid of that right now. Down the garbage disposal.
Looks like somebody already dumped it or something. I didn't
Oh
want to.
no.
Yeah, I didn't want it stinking. I wanted to put a little bit of liquid soap into the disposal when I ran it, but had to buy some. Anyway, what y'all been up to? How's your costumes? Y'all got your costumes done?
All
I'm
done.
so ready.
I've got my ears and my dress and my wings and all the glitter. Should be a good time.
Well, that's wonderful. I guess I'll be seeing you guys over there. Um, event starts at 10 a.m. Um, yeah, I still got some work to do.
Wonderful. Okay. Let us know if you need any help.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Sophie, did you ever patch things up with your boyfriend?
I don't have a boyfriend, Erica.
Oh boy.
A feller next door. What's his name? Lester?
Larry?
Larry? Lanny?
Lenny?
Yeah, one of them L's.
One of them.
I didn't know if there was anything to patch up.
I don't know.
Did you ever responded to the tickets that he left?
Keep forgetting.
You should probably go and handle that.
There are a lot of things distracting me right now.
How'd your finals go?
Yeah.
How'd your finals go?
I
Fine.
did awesome.
I think I did okay.
Good,
But
good.
yeah.
How'd your boyfriend do?
I I don't have one of those.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't.
sorry. How did Anakin Shepard do?
Sophomore
Tiberius Shepard. How did he do?
Tiberian.
Have you even seen him since your final? You know,
Damn.
since you guys are definitely not an item, I don't imagine that you really keep tabs of each other during the course of the day, right?
We run into each other in the science building all the time. What are you talking about? We have we we're both science majors. Gosh, Erica.
Sure, Ava, whatever you say. She's like, Sophie, you buying what they're selling?
You buying what they're selling?
No, I returned it.
Smart thinking. Well,
Also, there was a squirrel on that man's backpack, okay?
There was no squirrel. There never
There
was a squirrel.
there was a squirrel. He was feeding it and it was cute. And I'm not talking about the man.
Uh-huh, sure.
People in this house making fun of me.
well, we got like We got like ghost squirrels.
No, it was a real life squirrel. Why does no one believe me?
Well, I believe you. I believe you, darling. There's squirrels all over the place here. Squirrels,
See?
birds, bugs, snakes,
Sophia's
critters.
making fun of me. There's too many boys on campus. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, maybe you ought to go transfer to one of them there all girls schools. I couldn't personally do very well at such an establishment. You might like it.
Probably, but then I would have to get away from here, and I like you guys.
Oh, we love you too. Come on, you can say it, Ava. I love you guys. See how easy that is? I really love you guys.
I
Then replace guys with Shep.
heart. Replace guys with Shep. Oh my god, that's funny. Oh my
Now,
god.
now, if y'all are just friends, I could appreciate that. I got a lot of guy friends. Of course, they all want to be something more, but you know, I can understand that. I don't believe it, but I can understand.
Oh my gosh. No, this is not. Why? Why does this happen to me? I don't understand what's going on. I like you guys. I didn't say I loved anybody. I just really like your company, and Shep is a great friend. Okay, don't get. He's stumbling over her words so
Hmm.
much. He had a bad day, and he needs something for his stomach. He's not been smelling so good today. Can you give him something for that?
Mir comes in the room. He's dressed as an Arabian warrior, like a Saracen, and he says, um,
See.
"I I believe the quote is, um, indeed, the lady doth protest too much." And he sort of nods to himself.
I'm gonna go get ready for the Ren Fair. You guys are mean.
All right, let's look up. Huh. Map. Swamp. Big haunt. Why can't I find? Oh, because it's under V for Vanderhorn.
Oh man.
Sharing a map. This is Paul Vanderhorn's property. It is the property that
Oh,
is
I can't.
behind his house. It's quite large. I think I'd like to keep this artwork, so I'm going to drop it there. And the map to the Vanderhorn property, I think I'm going to drop there. I think I'm going to
I
get rid of
see.
possessed professor and the graduate student and poor Lily Boatwright.
Oh no, is she here too?
No, I had her in that one of those little
I was gonna say she.
hot slots where I could quickly bring them up. Quickly bring them up. So let's see. I think I bring up the encounters. Hopefully, I can add all of these to the combat counter and tracker, which I just cleared. So I go to encounters. I go to oh my goodness, what did I call
It's
it?
a
What did I
huge
call it?
land.
Sophomore year? Did I uncategorize it maybe? Oh, I bet it's under class dismissed. Yes, the Renaissance Fair slash ASPCA Fund Raiser. Add to the combat tracker. And it's quite a lot, so my screen just went gray. It's loading. It's putting several hundred tokens down. I hear you, Sam. Barking at me. Oh, loading, loading. Last time I tried to do this, Fantasy Grounds crashed hard. But I think that was with Classic. We'll just give it a moment. Hopefully it adds to the combat tracker.
Your map?
Yeah. Well, I'm adding an encounter
Oh,
to the combat tracker, and it should put them on the map.
yes, it should.
I had them all placed just so.
Yes. But it is a fairly big old map.
All right, you guys pull up to Paul Vanderhorn's estate. There are a lot of cars parked out there, I imagine. And when you're in line, looks like he's got some local security guards posted around the perimeter of his property. And there are some guys that look like they made their costumes out of like paper bags and hefty bags. They try to make themselves like a Highlander kilt out of a plastic hefty bag and tape and stuff like that. And the guy at the gate looks unimpressed, and he says, "Well, that doesn't really count as a costume to get in. But if you want to pay the buy a ticket for $15, then you're welcome to." And these guys are just pushing each other aside, saying, "See, I told you this was a bad idea." It's like, "Look, man, we're just college students. We can't afford to get in." Um, yeah, I just had to pay my next semester's fraternity dues to the Delta Eta Kappa fraternity. You ever heard of it?
Oh no.
It's one of the more famous ones. You got to let us in, man.
No, please.
And these guys are like pushing each other, and the guard at the front just is not having any of it. He's like, "I'm sorry, if you can't buy a ticket, then I'm not gonna be able to let you in. You understand? Rules is rules." One of the other security guards is coming up to try to give a little bit of backup, make sure they don't try to rush the gate. And it looks by both vehicles that are parked and by some of the folks that are milling about inside, it looks like some of the local police department is also present.